Hey, Coach, congratulations on the top 25 ranking. Just wanted to get your initial thoughts on that and what it means to the program. And then also, what does the message become to the team now that the bullseye is kind of on your back?
Yeah, I think, first of all, Curtis, I think it's a great accomplishment for our players, to be recognized nationally and to be ranked. It's not an easy thing to do. Having said that, I mean, our whole concern, our whole focus should be, focused on the Florida Gators and the really talented team that's coming in, the well-coached team in Florida. So I think it's, great for fans, great for our alumni, great for our boosters, great for former players. It's a great accomplishment for our current guys. But having said that, it's kind of irrelevant. The only thing that's really relevant, is what we do between the lines. We have a really, really difficult schedule, not just the Florida game, but down the stretch. And just want to continue to try to just focus on what's right in front of us, which is Florida.
Bob.
Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Tyree Appleby, he's a kid from Jacksonville. I guess he's old enough he didn't play with Devo over there, but I think I saw where Arkansas and Tennessee and A&M and Florida were all interested in him when he went into the portal. What do you remember about that? Did you guys look at him and just kind of what do you think about him as a player?
Yeah, I think he's playing really well for Florida. Certainly, we talked to him. His family had past history with Coach White. So it never went any more than just some conversations, but he's having a really good year for him. He can shoot the ball. He's good in transition. He had played really, really well for Cleveland State. So he's a really, really good piece to this really talented Florida roster.
I guess he would have played against Jalen Tate in the Horizon League. Did Jalen have any thoughts did you guys talk about him at all with Jalen or?
No, because today will be our practice. We didn't do anything yesterday on the floor. So today, I mean, whether he played against Cleveland State or not, I mean, to me, it's a new system, playing with talented guys surrounding him. So, we probably won't really ask him much. I mean, he knows him probably, but I don't know what it goes beyond that really, Bob.
And obviously, Jacksonville High School, they've got a nice program, but how interesting do you maybe find it that, in this game tomorrow night, two Jacksonville kids are going to be playing an SEC game against each other. And, I know you've talked a lot about Devo, but he's had two really big defensive plays here in these last two wins. What have you thought about he keeps developing, especially on the defensive end?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, to start him and to play him the amount of minutes that we are, I mean, he's earned it. He comes in every day. He keeps getting better. He's got a hungry attitude. He comes in at night and works. We've been like with all of our freshmen, we've been really pleased with all of their development. They're getting a lot of minutes on a team that's 16-5 and currently ranked. I mean, it's, to play, three freshmen this amount of minutes and to have a pretty decent record and so on and so forth is really impressive. I mean, it shows you how talented those guys are. And, as a staff, we're really happy that those guys are getting, not only development behind closed doors in practice, but they're getting court time, which is the most valuable piece to developing players. And I think our program has proven that we're willing to give great opportunity to young freshmen like Devo. And he's shown great growth on the court. We've allowed him to play through some mistakes, and he continues to be what I consider a great defender, a great rebounder for his position, a great loose ball getter. And now he's developed where he's gotten a lot of freedom offensively. It's been 2 games in a row when I've given him the freedom with the basketball to attack the rim. We haven't gotten the results, but he's had the freedom to take that thing to the cup in both the at Kentucky game and at Missouri. So he's not just doing that, in non-conference games, but he's doing them in big road games where he's got the ball in his hands at crucial junctures of the game.
Dudley.
Coach, obviously you got some kids signed in the early period and transfers, but have you continued to look at 2021 prospects? And also, how big of a challenge has it been not being able to get out and see the 2022 guys and just having to virtually talk to them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, recruiting has kind of changed. I mean, you got to do a lot of stuff on, online. You got to not just the way you communicate with them, but also, Dudley, how you evaluate. But I think, with recruiting, it's two-way street. You got to really recruit and want players, and then, it's reciprocal. I mean, the guys that are here now, it wasn't easy, recruiting, the level of talent that those four guys brought to the program. They were all recruited really heavily, but they all, at the end of the day, they wanted to be here. And that's what we want. We can watch, we can identify, we can recruit, but if certain guys feel this isn't the right place for them, then you move on to the next guy. And certainly, the 21's kind of, that's kind of, everybody's pretty solidified on what's going on. And then, the next class you move into, but again, it affects all of us, not just Arkansas. It affects Kentucky, and it affects Florida and LSU and all of us that are out, normally out recruiting and being able to evaluate. But having said that, it gives you more time to talk on the phone, and you can sell your program, and then it's up to the player and his internal or his inner circle to determine where a guy wants to go. And certainly, you want guys that want to play in your system or that they think is a fit.
One of the things, how's KK's rehab going, and how's he doing?
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, he's getting stronger and stronger. I mean, physically, the difference from today and from a month ago physically, and I just met with our strength coach, Dave Richardson. He talked about how much stronger, and you can see it visually, as far as his foot. I mean, he's not going to be able to do anything on that, but what he can do is he can be at every practice like he has been. He continues to know everything that we're adding because we continue to add plays. He's on the sideline doing ab work every day, doing stretching. Sometimes he'll just be over there dribbling while he's sitting down. But he's certainly overly engaged, I would say, for sure, both in the weight room, and he's very active while we're in practice off on the sideline.
Thanks.
Nate.
Eric, is Florida going to be able to get in with the weather? Was there any problems? And just what do you look for out of them being so idle so long with COVID and everything as far as how they'll play?
Yeah, I mean, we expect to play tomorrow. I know some of the ESPN people, or at least the producer, somebody just got in from Atlanta and landed at XNA just under an hour ago. So, we certainly, I mean, the airport's open. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be playing the game. And as far as teams that have had a layoff, a lot of them have really benefited from it. Michigan won a big game the other day after being off for a lot longer than Florida has. And you could just kind of look at some of the teams that have had off time due to COVID, and they come back really fresh. They come back really energized, both physically and mentally. And so, I kind of equate it to playing pickup ball. Anybody that's used to playing pickup ball, if you play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, by the time you get to Saturday and Sunday, you're not as excited to go to the park. Well, if you only play on the weekends, you only play Saturday and Sunday, man, you're pretty jacked up to play. So I think, Florida will be just fine. They got a great coach who's, I'm sure, keeping them sharp. And like I said, I've seen a lot of teams that have been in this situation actually benefit by having the off time.
What do you see out of Mann and Castleton?
Mann's a phenomenal player. Can score it at all three levels, can shoot the ball, good ball distributor, got good size, has good strength, can score it in transition. Castleton, number 12, has been awesome. One of the best shot blockers in the country. A guy that has, games of blocking shots, 5 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots in a game. It goes to show you he's a transfer from Michigan, did not get much of an opportunity at Michigan. Changes systems, a year older. Now he's one of the best bigs in the country.
Thank you.
So sometimes a lot of it has to do with opportunity, but their team with the transfers that they've gotten, 22 Appleby, 12 Castleton, and number 4. Those are 3 really important pieces to Florida's roster.
Thank you.
Andrew?
Yeah, Coach, Trey Mann and Noah Locke are both shooting a ton of threes and making them over 40%. What's going to be the key to stopping them? And is there any concern considering how much y'all have given up beyond the arc the last couple of games?
Yeah, I think when you look, there's concern about us defending the 3 for sure, because we're, last year we were number 1 in the country. Now we're 10th in our own conference. So yeah, that's a concern, because it goes to show you a lot of it's personnel and so on and so forth, because we're teaching it the exact same way. It's not like we're not emphasizing it. The last 2 games on my shoulders, no doubt. Drew Buggs having a SEC career high. He had 8 points. Kentucky shooting a lot of threes, Missouri shooting a lot of threes. That's what we wanted. We did not want either one of those teams to pound us inside. We did not want those teams to score points in the paint. We did not want Kentucky or Missouri to have a high volume of free throws attempted. Watson checked in for Missouri. He hadn't made a 3 in conference play. He made 2 against us. I don't look at that as a bad thing. I look at that as a good thing, because that meant Pinson wasn't shooting the basketball and Drew Smith wasn't shooting. So the more career nights we can have from role players, the better off we are than not letting stars go off.
Scotty?
Hey, Coach, what growth have you seen from Moses as an on-ball defender? And do you think his play and impact on that end might be a little bit overlooked just because he can be a great scorer?
Yeah, I think, he defensively, he's got to stay out of foul trouble too, but he's done a great job of using his length. I think he's now understanding a lot of our schemes, Scotty. He's done a great job of asking questions. He's got a high basketball IQ on both sides of the ball. I think the thing that's just impressed me is how he studies film. He's laser focused. And then when the scout coach goes through the opposition's offense, and I kind of down there with the first and second groups going through defensive schemes, and then when we gather as a group while the scout team's going through what they're going to give us a look on the opposing team set, Moses has really grown in talking about coverages and maybe mentioning things that he sees can help either him or the team. And, you very seldom get that with a freshman.
Ty?
Yeah, Coach, I was going to ask, to our knowledge, I think that was the first time you had gone shirtless here at Arkansas. I was there in Nashville when you did it after coming back against Cincinnati. A couple times you won the Mountain West Conference. Kind of what led to the celebration in the locker room, and was that planned if you guys won that game?
No, nothing. A lot of things aren't planned. That really wasn't planned. I came back in the coaches' room and somebody kind of poured a little Gatorade cup on me full of water on the back of my shirt. And so that led to me taking it off. And then somebody said, "Hey, just go in the locker room like that. So that's kind of what happened. Wasn't really planned, but you know what? These guys work so hard, Ty, and you know, you want to have some fun. You got to enjoy the wins, because, you know, I carry around a lot of agony after losses.
Randy?
Eric, talk about the matchups with Florida. How do you see those individual matchups, both offensively and defensively?
Well, we got to be able to recognize their changing defenses, because they'll play some different defenses throughout the course of a 40-minute game. So it's important for our guys to understand spacing and where to be when they do make changes. You know, as far as individual matchups, Florida's, you know, they're 8 deep. You know, we go 8.5 deep. They'll go 8.5, 9 sometimes. I don't look at this game, Randy, like there's 1 or 2 crucial matchups, because, you know, having played Florida a few years ago in the NCAA tournament, Noah Locke even then was a huge concern from 3. You know, Payne continues to get better and better for them. He's gaining confidence. We've already talked about 22 Appleby and number 1 Mann's ability to shoot the ball. So you've got to recognize their 3-ball shooting, but also you've got to get back in transition. This is a very good team in scoring in transition. So our transition defense will be very important as well, Randy.
Bob?
Yeah, Eric, after the game the other day, you talked about the free throw drills. Now the players aren't big fans of it, but Moses kind of gave us some details, but about how they rotate, and I guess if they miss, they got to start over again. What would you say would be about the longest you guys have run that drill? And is that something you started this year? You done that in the past? Kind of where'd you get that from?
Yeah, no, I've done it periodically. It's a drill I picked up overseas coaching Venezuela's national team, because we weren't very good free throw shooters, and I wanted to try to put pressure. I mean, it's interesting because JD Notte told Coach Rudy he felt more pressure in our free throw shooting game post practice than he did in a game, which is what, you know, that's what you try to simulate. Mike Kaywood, keep yourself on mute, but can you tell us, because you're at every practice, how long do you think the longest post free throw drill? Just put up a number sign with your hands. 10 minutes? Longer? 20. Okay. So maybe we've got an extra 20 minutes in practice on certain days that we don't shoot the drill.
And most of them mentioned push-ups, so the pressure comes from, I don't want the guys to all be pissed off at me because I make them do push-ups because I missed a free throw. I guess is that the idea? Yeah.
Well, you know, plus it gives us a little extra. The coaches get to do push-ups too, so it helps keep some of the blood flowing for some of the older guys like Clay Mosier, make sure he's wide awake and alert while we're in practice.
Do you guys all do the push-ups?
Yeah, we're supposed to. If not, you got to do wall squats.
Okay. And then do you know who it was that dumped the drink on you in the locker room?
Probably my son.
Yeah, I figured he might be the one guy that could get away with that. Okay, thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Bob.
If we don't have anybody else, real quick, anyone? All right, Coach.
Hey, thanks, everybody. It looked like we got a full house today on this thing. Love it.
Wait, hold on, Coach.
Gators.